Hi guys, James at Rampant Lion Reviews again for you today with another beer review. For this one we are going to stick to Sweden and we're going to head back to Gothenburg, or Göteborg as you'd say in Swedish, which, as I've told you many a time, is the craft beer city when it comes to Sweden. There's a hell of a lot of really good breweries up there. And for this one, we're going to do review number 5, I think it is, from this brewery in fact. So we're going to go back to Spike Brewery and we're having a taste of the Strictly Business, which is an Imperial IPA coming in at 8% ABV. From what I understand, this one is a New England style beer and this was released on the 3rd of June 2019 through the local and small releases in Systembolaget. So yeah, really cool to see that Systembolaget have changed it up a little bit this year and are releasing more and more Swedish beers, basically making it easier for the Swedish craft breweries to access the market, if you like. But really looking forward to trying this one. I've tried quite a few different IPAs from these guys so far. West Coast Brut IPAs, a couple of New Englands as well, and I've been really impressed with the standard of beer that they're putting out there, so hopefully I can have a go at a black IPA at some point soon. That's the one that I'm missing from all these different IPA kind of subcategories, if you like. But really looking forward to this, and as always I hope you guys enjoy my take on this beer. So anyway, as is usual with my reviews then, I'll tell you a little bit about the brewery. If you want to get straight to the tasting, just fast forward. All the usual links are in the description below. That's the brewery website, the link to my other reviews that I've done from Spike Brewery before. No doubt I will add some more in the fairly near future. There's all the usual social media. If you want to see more beer reviews, do please consider subscribing to the channel. The whole channel of course has a geography based tagging system, so you can go into the homepage and search for beer based on country, city, state, county, prefecture, whatever it is you're interested in. Do check out the playlists of beers from different countries. There is one there for all the Swedish beers that I've reviewed for you. That's constantly being added to, and as always please do get in touch and let me know some of the other beers and breweries that you guys would like to see me review. It's always great to hear from you guys that are watching the videos, and the support that you show the channel is hugely appreciated. So anyway, to tell you a little bit about Spike Brewery then. So as I mentioned to you earlier, Spike Brewery are based in Gothenburg and they were founded back in 2014 by Mats Westberg, Marcus Alksberg and Martin Johansson. And all three had previously worked in the IT industry, but now it's only Max and Marcus that are still active in the company. Their brewer is Bernardo Gava, who's originally from Brazil, and he trained in brewing at VLB in Berlin, and he joined the company back in 2017. A very talented brewer that they managed to recruit by all accounts. But at the moment they're producing around 250,000 litres of beer per year, and about 25% of that volume is used for contract brewing other breweries' beers as well, because there are a good number of gypsy breweries operating around the Gothenburg area. Electric Nurse, Mohawk Brewing and things like that as well are all around there. But this brewery can be found in the Gamlestaden area, and they've got an on-site tap room which opens up on Saturdays, and they also serve food as well. It's in this old kind of red bricky industrial building. I hope that I can get up to Gothenburg and check that out at some point, because it's a city that I really haven't explored very much yet, so that's something that I definitely need to have a look at doing in the fairly near future. But yeah, as I say, I've been impressed with the other beers that I've tried from these guys. That's all you really need to know about the brewery for the moment. If you want to learn a little bit more, you can check out the brewery website in the description below, and you can follow them on Facebook and Instagram and all of these different things. So yeah, let's get on to the actual tasting of this beer itself then. We can get rid of the brewery notes. So as I said to you at the start of the video, this one is an 8% New England style double IPA, or Imperial IPA as they're calling it. You can see the can is sweating a little bit, so it should just be a nice temperature. You can see the Illuminati thing. A good few of their IPAs seem to be called Business, so I think the other one that I tried was Illegal Business, which was quite nice. A really nice double IPA that, or New England IPA if I remember correctly. So I'm curious to see how this one turns out. It'd be cool if they had Dark Business as well, which would be a black IPA. Maybe they're using the same base recipe or something like this, and different hops in this. But yeah, we'll open this guy up and see how we get on. Really nice little artwork there, and you can see on the side of the beer, that is the Spike Brewery symbol. So yeah, let's get it out and we'll get on with the tasting. A little 330ml can, this one. I think I paid maybe 35 crowns for this, so for a double IPA it's around the kind of standard price in Sweden actually. Well, as soon as you open this you can smell some of these lovely hoppy notes coming out of it. Change of glassware for today incidentally. My Amar Braukus glass, which I dearly loved, bit the dust. It fell into the sink and the what's they called, the base of it fell off, and that was that. So sad times. But yeah, this one should do us for the moment until we find a nice replacement. But yeah, as you can see with this beer, it's poured a lovely kind of bright goldeny yellow colour there. I've not poured it, there's still a little bit in the can of this one, but you can see I've got about a 2/3 frothy, I would say perfect white head on this one, not creamy or anything, mainly a big perfect white head. If I put my fingers behind the glass, there's a nice, you can see that there's a nice little bit of haze to this one, but by no means is it the haziest beer you're going to come across. But a nice bright yellow New England style IPA, this one. Looks the part, you know, nothing overly surprising about this one in terms of its appearance. So let's take a closer look at that aroma then and just see how we get on. I have to say that smells really nice. It's really interesting that actually. There's a whole blend of fruits coming out of this one. So you've got some nice mangoes in there. It does have a bit of a kind of apricot-y, peachy kind of thing, I would say. I think there's a little touch of passion fruit in there as well. I wouldn't be surprised if there's galaxy in this one, to be honest with you. But there's also something, it's almost a little bit like a kind of melony quality as well, which is interesting. I'm not sure what hop you would get that from other than the Styrian Wolf from Slovenia, actually, the sort of melony notes. So there is something in there that I think is a little bit different, but I would suspect that this has got a little bit of galaxy in it. Could it have a little bit of mosaic as well? I think there's maybe a kind of tangerine orange note to this beer. I always like playing guess the hops with the beers when you don't know what's in them. But yeah, there's a whole host of fruits coming out of this one. I've said passion fruit, there's mangoes, there's a little bit of a kind of peachy, apricot-y kind of thing going on in there. I think there's a little touch of a tangerine orange and a little bit of melon, which is quite interesting. Maybe papayas is another kind of subtlety you could get out of this one. So I think maybe there could possibly be Citra and Galaxy in this, maybe a little bit of mosaic, and I think there's something else in there. It could of course be something completely different, but it does come across very, very nicely, this one. I like how everything is going together. When you sugar it up actually, you almost get a little bit of lime out of it, so maybe there could be some equinox. Yeah. But basically on the fruity side of this beer there's a hell of a lot going on, and it has a really nice juicy kind of thing to the fruit. The fruit isn't overly pungent, it's just really, really nice and quite juicy, to be honest with you. So it's got a hell of an aroma on it, this beer. On the green side of the hops, I would say this one has a good little bit of floral aromaticity. It's got a nice kind of grassy side to it as well, but I think it's leaning more towards the slightly spicy floral notes, to be honest with you. On the malty side, I would say, yeah, malty side of the beer, it's got a nice wheatiness to it. There's a little bit of oaty creaminess in there, but to me this is one of these New England IPAs that leans a little bit more towards the wheaty side of things. You do get almost just a little teensy bit of banana out of this one, so the wheat really is pushing its way out of this beer a little bit. Maybe a little touch of biscuit as well, but yeah, a really nice aroma to it, this beer, and I hope that the flavour lives up to it. But knowing Spike Brewery, I think this one will be a pretty damn nice beer. So let's just put the last little bit of it in before we taste, make it as hazy as possible, and let's have a look at this one then. So this one is the Strictly Business, a double New England style IPA at 8% ABV from Spike Brewery in Gothenburg on the west coast of Sweden. Let's get stuck into this one. Sláinte, skål. Yeah, that's another like really solid IPA from these guys. I remember this one's a little bit smoother than I remember some of the other ones being. The other New England IPA that I had almost came across as being a little bit, having a bit of a West Coasty quality to it, and this one's got a lovely, first impression of this one is that it has a very nice big oily mouthfeel. I really like how this one's kind of coming together. Yeah. So the malt base in this one, it's very, very straight up. You can feel the nice, smooth, wheaty quality just blanket in the middle of your tongue. You do get some more of the oaty creaminess coming out of this the further that you go into the flavour of this beer, and there is a little bit of a biscuity sweetness in the middle of your tongue. But the thing that really surprises me, or doesn't surprise me, that impresses me about this beer is just how kind of smooth the malt base in this one is. It goes very, very well. And I've always said about these New England IPAs, when you get up to around the kind of 8% mark, beyond that is when you're going to start to struggle to cover the alcohol a little bit, unless you add some caramel and things like that, and that's how the West Coast IPAs can go as high as they do. But the malt base in this one is really nice and smooth, and almost just even has a little bit of a sweet creaminess to it actually, which is good. But yeah, I like how everything's going together in this one. The hoppy side of the beer is very, very nice as well. Back corners of the palate, you've just got a little touch of an earthiness in there. As you come further forward along the sides of the tongue, that smooths out a little bit, and you start to get these nice floral qualities just moving towards the front part of the palate there. In the front corners of the tongue, you've just got a little touch of a floral, a nice bit of a floral aromaticity to it. It's not spicy or anything, but it's just got a nice little bit of aromaticity to it. And round the very front curve of the palate, it's nice and light and grassy, to be honest with you. The green side of the hops for me is it's actually well balanced between the grassy and the floral side of things. It's not leaning towards one or leaning on one a lot more than the other. Yeah, that's a really nice. It's a really nice IPA. This one, big thumbs up to Spike Brewing for this one. I think this is maybe my favourite one that I've tried from them so far, to be honest with you. But behind the front curve of the palate, of course, that's where you get that nice oily bubble where those juicy, fruity esters start to push their way out of this beer. This one, I think, it's only 1 or 2 hops that's in this beer. The aroma comes across as being a lot more complex than the actual flavour of the beer is. To me, this comes across as a really straight up New England double IPA, but it's very well done. And there's a lot of breweries kind of going for this almost minimalist approach now, and it really does work. I mean, Sweden, of course, is famous for minimalism in a way, but the way that this is one of these beers that isn't going to do anything surprising within the style, but it's just very well crafted, and it stands out for that reason. So on the hoppy side of things then, I think at the very back of that oily bubble, there's a little touch of a grapefruity, passion fruity kind of thing there, but not too much. As you come further forward from that, you get a little bit of the mangoes. There's definitely a mango-y quality to this beer. And there's some papaya, apricot-y notes just further forward than that. I don't think there's mosaic in this one. It doesn't quite have the it just doesn't have some of the things that I would normally expect from mosaic. I don't think this beer really leans towards the orangey side of things. I would go for Citron Galaxy maybe in this one. It's got a little bit of a kind of pineapple-y note the further forward you come on the palate as well. But you know, overall, the flavour that this beer has is very, very nice. It's a nice juicy tropical fruit New England IPA, this one. So yeah, if that sounds like it ticks the boxes for you, if you like the Citra and the Galaxy hop, I suspect that you would quite enjoy this one. But it's more of the tropical fruits in this one are a bit more juicy rather than darker and more pungent, if you like, compared to some of the other beers that you can get. So a very well crafted New England double in my opinion. I've enjoyed reviewing this one for you. So yeah, have a go at this beer for yourself and just see what you think. It is really quite nice. So in terms of the mouthfeel then, I'd say that this beer is it's mid-bodied. Carbonation's very, very smooth. The mouthfeel overall leans towards the smooth side of things, but it's got a little bit of an oily quality as well. Good little bit of hoppy bitterness, some juicy fruity qualities from the hops as well. I would say in terms of IBUs, we're talking about 30 IBUs at most, maybe a little bit less than that, to be honest with you, but it's got a lovely smoothness and sweetness from the malt base. And like I said, this one doesn't do anything surprising with the style. It's just very, very well crafted. So if you get the chance to try this one, have a go at it, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed. So I guess let's leave it at that for this one. This one is the Strictly Business, a New England double IPA coming in at 7% ABV. From Spike Brewery in Gothenburg here in Sweden. Another really good local release from the Swedish brewery, and it's one that you definitely need to check out. I hope this brewery start exporting a little bit more over the next little while. But let's leave it at that. Once again, thank you for watching my beer reviews. Until the next time, please like, subscribe, share, all the usual YouTube stuff. Let me know your own thoughts on this one in the comments section below. Let me know what your favourite beers are from Spike Brewery as well, and I'm sure we'll be returning to these guys for another local release at some point in the fairly near future. Until the next time, it's Slanja just now. Check out my social media, and I'll catch you guys later. Slanja, skål.